The waves crashed violently that night, the sky painted in desperate shades of red and gold. A little girl screamed, "Daddy! Someone's in the water!" Without hesitation, Ethan, a single dad in his mid-30s wearing a torn t-shirt and sand-stained jeans, ran straight into the roaring tide. He didn't know that the unconscious woman he pulled from the sea would soon change his entire life. Ethan's life was simple, though far from easy. Every morning, before the sun even rose, he'd pack breakfast for his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, drop her off at school, and then rush to his 2 jobs. First as a lifeguard on the beach, then as a janitor at night. He was a man of quiet strength and unspoken pain, a father who'd lost his wife to illness 3 years ago, and had promised never to let Lily feel that emptiness again. That evening, the air was thick with salt and sorrow. Ethan sat by the lifeguard tower, eyes distant, thinking about the bills piling up and the rent that was already overdue. Lily played nearby, her laughter the only thing that gave his weary soul light. But then came that scream.
"Daddy! Someone's drowning!"
Ethan sprinted toward the water, his instincts sharper than thought. The current was strong, dragging someone out to sea. He dove in without hesitation. The waves slammed against him, but he kept swimming until he reached her. A woman floating face down, lifeless. He pulled her to shore, heart pounding, water dripping from his hair. "Stay with me," he whispered, pressing his hands over her chest. He began CPR. Counting, breathing, praying. After what felt like an eternity, she coughed, water spilling from her mouth as she gasped for air. Ethan sighed in relief, his muscles trembling with exhaustion. When her eyes opened, they were the color of stormy skies, confused, fragile, and afraid. "Where am I?" she whispered weakly. "You're safe," Ethan said softly. "You were drowning." I pulled you out." She blinked, disoriented, shivering. He wrapped his own towel around her. Her name, as he later learned, was Isabella Hayes, though she only introduced herself as Bella. She claimed she was just a traveler passing through, escaping city chaos for peace by the ocean. Ethan didn't ask more. He never did. That night, he brought her to a small seaside cafe to warm up, Lily holding Bella's hand like they were old friends. The 3 of them laughed as the sun dipped low, painting the world gold again. What Ethan didn't know was that Bella wasn't just a traveler. She was one of the youngest billionaires in the country, CEO of Hayes Innovations, a woman the media called the Ice Queen, for her stoic demeanor and closed heart. But tonight, for the first time in years, she felt human. As they sat watching Lily build sand castles in the fading light, Bella found herself whispering, "It's strange. I've been surrounded by everything money can buy, but I've never felt this kind of peace." Ethan smiled, a quiet warmth in his eyes. Maybe peace isn't found in what we own. Maybe it's in moments like this, when we stop trying to be someone and just are. Bella stared at him. That one sentence hit her harder than any business deal ever could. As the night deepened, Ethan offered to walk her back to her rental cottage. When she thanked him for saving her life, he simply said, "I didn't save your life. You just needed someone to remind you how to breathe again." But Bella's heart knew. Something far deeper had just begun. Bella left the beach the next morning, her driver waiting by a sleek black car. Yet as the waves faded behind her, she couldn't shake Ethan's voice from her mind. Days turned into weeks. Board meetings, investors, press events, nothing felt the same. She caught herself staring out of her glass-walled office at the ocean far below, feeling emptier than ever. Her assistant, confused, once asked, "Once Hayes, are you all right?" Bella only replied softly, "Have you ever met someone who made you question everything you thought mattered?" One afternoon, she did something unthinkable for someone of her status. She disappeared. No assistants, no guards, no designer clothes. Just Bella in a simple sundress, driving her own car back to the small coastal town. When she found Ethan again, he was cleaning up beach trash with Lily. He turned surprised, the same calm warmth in his eyes. "You came back," he said, half smiling. "I never left," Bella whispered. "At least not here." She touched her heart. From that day, Bella started visiting often, helping Lily with her school projects, joining Ethan for walks, bringing food she claimed she'd cooked herself. Though it was clearly gourmet, they laughed, shared stories, and for the first time in years, she felt like she belonged somewhere. But when the truth finally surfaced, when Ethan accidentally saw her on TV during a business news segment, everything changed. He confronted her quietly one evening. "So, you're a billionaire," he said with a pained smile. "And I'm just the guy who cleans beach toilets at night. That's quite a match, huh?" Bella's eyes filled with tears. "Don't say that. You're the only person who's ever seen me for who I am, not what I'm worth." Ethan shook his head, torn between pride and heartbreak. "Bella, I don't belong in your world." She took his hands, trembling. "Then let me live in yours." For a long moment, silence hung between them, until Lily ran up and hugged Bella's leg, looking up with innocent eyes. "Don't leave, Miss Bella. Daddy smiles when you're here." That broke him. Ethan pulled Bella into his arms, the sound of the waves crashing around them like applause from heaven itself. Months later, the once struggling single dad stood in a new beach cafe. His own business, funded not by Bella's wealth, but by her belief in him. The sign above read, "Second Breath Cafe." On opening day, Bella arrived with Lily, both wearing matching seashell necklaces Ethan had made. As they stood watching the sunset, Ethan whispered, "You know, that night I gave you CPR. I thought I was saving your life. But now I realize you were the one who saved mine." Bella smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "Maybe we just reminded each other how to breathe again." And as the camera pulled back, showing the three of them walking along the shoreline hand in hand, the narrator's voice returned softly. "Sometimes the people we save are the ones sent to save us."